when the video came out, there were a lot of comments about this in the comments section. I'm just narrating the events right now. And I decided upon reflection, and I'll give you an insight into that reflection, to put out a comment and pin it to the top of the video, and to keep the video up on my channel. Here, I'm going to read the comment to you very, very quickly. I'd like to address several comments. First and most importantly, having an engine running during a game is against the rules. End of story. It was wrong, and I unreservedly apologize to my opponent and to any viewers who felt uncomfortable during that segment. After capturing my opponent's queen, I fully expected resignation and got impatient. However, I'd like to strongly request that you take the context into account and treat it charitably. The speedrun series is educational in nature, and as such, my priority at every moment is to maximize the instructive value. You can read it yourself. I was too, and I'll explain why. In the moment, I thought it obvious that in the context of the series, it would not be interpreted by anyone, especially a real chess player, as deliberate cheating. I think that anyone with a modicum of discernment can see that I had zero intention of normalizing cheating by suggesting that using an engine during a competitive game is in any way acceptable. It is not. And anyone who has watched even a tiny percent of my YouTube or stream content can agree, I hope, that I have consistently advocated for fair play, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do I have to say about this? Now, first of all, do I stand by this apology? I do. Was this wrong? Yes, it was wrong of me it was a fair play violation for me to have the engine running during the game. The way that I actually have an engine running is not through some internal driver. I simply open up ChessBase, which as a self-respecting 2600, some own this program called ChessBase, very obscure program. I open it on my right monitor, which has the chat. This is why you will see me opening the chat on my phone in the analysis, because I have ChessBase open. I'll sometimes have ChessBase on either monitor. I'll open a board, and I inputted the first 8 moves because I thought that the moment I have an educational mind during the speedrun. I'm thinking, like, which moments can be the most instructive, which can allow me to talk about a theme, and obviously it's this one. I actually don't remember what the engine says. I want to double check. Yeah, so I inputted the moves because I saw the notation, of course. So like it was D3, E5, E3. This would take me a second if I saw the notation.
And here you might be tempted to play E4. You might be like, well, this is just like the previous game, right? You want to
Okay,
stake
blah,
your
blah,
claim
blah. Anyways, it doesn't matter right now. I want to like cut the crap out. So you just turn on Stockfish through ChessBase, and I looked at that moment because I thought that like I needed an engine to understand whether you're supposed to take the knight. Like I didn't know. And during the game, I wasn't sure. I ended up taking the knight, but it was pretty dangerous for a while. So to me, this was like an unmissable education moment where I can talk about a lot of different themes in attacking chess and the fishing pole trap. And I just wanted to save the viewers some time. In fact, through my lens, it was so like not an issue that unlike what Kramnik says, me saying that I'm using an engine was not a slip of the tongue. I intended to say that because I wanted to make sure people knew that it was happening. And I never thought in my wildest dreams, to be completely honest, that anybody would conjure up the idea that this is a big deal. Because if I may be so arrogant, perhaps you'll call me, I think that over the course of 4 years in which I've done the speedrun series, I hope that I've gained the trust of viewers in knowing that every modicum of energy is dedicated during the speedrun episodes to making it as instructive of an experience as possible. And it never entered my mind that somebody thought that I could, that this is the moment when I'm going to like reveal my moral bankruptcy. In a game with an 1100, when I'm up a queen and a piece, I often have to wait for my opponent to stall out. And I was just trying to make efficient use of my time. Okay? And to say that like that is cheating, yes, by definition it is. Guess what else is cheating? Playing on someone else's account, which I believe someone did. I have not brought this up for the entirety of my rebuttals because I believed it to be irrelevant, as I still do. But the Kramnik and Krakozia thing, that's cheating, right? But we lose like the meaning of any word if we're just going to like apply this. It would be evil, I think, to say that this is the same thing as cheating in a Title Tuesday game. I apologize, and I still do, because it is a violation of the rules, and the added benefit of me doing this does not outweigh the fact that I need to be someone who shows the idea that, like, the rules that apply to you should also apply to me, and they should. Okay? But I'm trying to say this in a way that makes it clear. I think this was wrong, and I haven't done it since. But to suggest that this is evidence of, like, a pattern of cheating and now lends more validity to any of these other absurd claims is, it makes me, it's disgusting. I'm sorry, it's completely disgusting. And if you approach this with a modicum of good faith, you would know that. And yeah, I'm sorry, but when I do the speed run, I think that there should be certain liberties that are granted to me. And if you want to, the people who are saying that, like, this is not okay, and, like, he's, you know, he knows that chess.com is going to protect him, point me to your speed run and to your thousands of hours making instructive content, and I will happily be the first to lobby Danny Wrench to give you the power to, you know, to do whatever it is that you want to make it more instructional. To suggest that I did this out of malice, or, and Vladimir, this is what made me angriest, to deliberately manipulate the narrative so that people think that I actually used it on the present position, that I used it, that my use of it had anything to do with, like, needing to use the engine to win a queen and knight up. Really? Because that's what people were commenting, that, like, I needed the engine to, like, find the best move in the present position. This is a waste of time. It's a non-issue. I apologized for it. And then I was going to take the video down, but then I thought, no, this is not something I'm ashamed of. I don't think this was actually wrong. It was wrong from a rules-based perspective. And from that perspective it was, but from a moral perspective, find me a single person who really truly believes that this is evidence of, like, a deep-seated pattern of moral bankruptcy. Okay? Any, like, objections to this, and please feel free. I decided to leave the video up because, no, I'm not perfect. And over the course of thousands of hours, yeah, I get impatient sometimes. Sorry to be human. That's why I decided to leave the video up, because it's actually a really instructive moment.